Yo, now we're on to the sequel to the remake. As we're counting down the Kong Skull Island, so with that all being said, there's gonna be spoilers in this review, so that is your warning if you have not seen the movie. So, basically, when we see the movie, we get a little recap of what happened in the remake, of how the remake ended. It kind of reminds me of a little bit like how the earlier Friday the 13th movies were, where they show a recap of what happened in the movie before, like before the following, before it jumps right into the sequel and stuff. I mean, that's what it kind of reminded me of. I mean, Halloween did that too. But anyway, we see that they were actually able to save Kong, but they needed to basically give him a heart transplant, this big this big special heart that they made or whatever, and they need a blood transfusion. They need a blood donation from another gorilla, and then conveniently there's another gorilla, and then they get the blood from her, they give it to Kong, and then they put the heart in him, and they take his heart out, and it's just like, and they're saving him for just, I don't know, just because, just because. And Kong's back, and then he falls in love with this other Kong. Well, I think she's named Lady Kong. For the movie. So basically, this movie gives Kong the happy ending that he deserves. And the only difference is they kill him again at the end of the movie. And before that, he was fighting off the army, and it kind of reminds me of, like, when he fights the army, it kind of reminds me of when the Incredible Hulk... Excuse me, sorry. Okay, let's do that again. It kind of reminded me of when, in the Incredible Hulk movie, where he fights General Thunderbolt Ross, and in the army. That's what it kind of reminded me of in a way. Even though the humans in this movie, King Kong Lives, they make General Thunderbolt Ross and Carl Denham look like Walt Disney characters. Oh man, and it's just like, it kind of reminds me of like how we're all the way back to the very first movie, to the very original 1933 movie, where we're supposed to be rooting for the people to get away from Kong, and then for the plan is to shoot Kong off the building. But in here, we're rooting for Kong to fuck those people up, fuck everybody up, and then the only good thing that Kong got to do before he dies again, is that he basically got the Lady Kong pregnant, and then he was able to see his child before he slips away. Again, I mean, and just when you thought, how can we rip your heart? How can we stomp on the hearts of the fans even more? And they found a way to do it. Man, this movie was not as good as the movie that it followed, but it's kind of decent, and I understand that they gave Kong the ending that basically he deserved, and it's a well-deserved ending for Kong, like, minus him being killed again. But anyway, like, the much happier ending would have been for him and Lady Kong to watch, raise this little Kong, and then they're just often happy together, you know what I mean? But no, they had to kill him again. Oh, man. But I mean, it's still pretty decent. I mean, the effects were really good, and when you see Kong and Lady Kong, interact, and they have chemistry in their face expressions, you can tell that they're in love with each other, and it's like, man, I mean, like, it's beautiful. I mean, like, if you're an animal lover, it just gives you the feels. You know what I mean? So, this is a fair, decent movie. Not that great, but hey, it's still pretty decent. But anyway, with that all being said, I think I would probably give this, I'd give it 3 chair spins out of 5. So here we go. 1, 2. 2, 3, three cheers pins. But I don't know. It's just, you know, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I mean, like, this is basically the last movie that we'll get of Kong for 2 decades until it gets remade into it gets remade once again, and it's actually remade into where they're actually trying to remake the whole original movie from scratch. So I'll get to that in my next review, well, in my final review for, counting down to Kong Skull Island. So yeah, so if you guys enjoyed my review on this movie, make sure you thumb up the video and make sure to click subscribe if you're a newbie to the channel. And thank you for watching. And before I head out, I'm gonna say that the human characters, I guess the likable characters in the movie, I will say that they're not that interesting. No, I mean, like, when it's focused on them, I get bored, I look away, and I'm like, okay, can we just get back to Kong and, and his lady friend? Can we just do that, please? But, the only best part about the movie is Kong and his lady, just getting to know each other and basically making a love, adding something different to this love story, But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.